Great afternoon, great evening, great day, beautiful people. We are so super duper, as Barney would say, excited to be back live with you guys tonight. We hope that wherever you are right now in this very moment, you are reminded that it is a great day. Any day that we are above the ground, we are breathing, we have the ability, regardless of the time of day, to hit the reset button and make it an absolutely great day. Y'all, we are so excited to be back. This is episode 15. Yes, we are on episode 15. And tonight I am so extremely excited to have two other young rock stars on with us. And I'm not going to prolong, I'm going to bring them on up. But you guys know how we get started. Come on and meet me in this chat. Go on and meet me in the chat. Drop a great evening, a hello. Tell us where you're joining from. Just know that we are so excited to have you. Again, it's a great day to be you, and it's a great day to be here with us. Two other rock stars. So I'm bringing them on up on this stage. But again, go ahead, drop in the comments for us. Where are you joining us from on this sensational Sunday? Listen, I am excited to introduce you to these two amazing, young, brilliant beings on the stage with me tonight. First up, we have none other than Miss Jamera Barnes. And here we go. Let me read her bio for you guys. Hear this out. Jamera Barnes is committed to fostering academic excellence and personal growth among students and educators while enhancing school culture and climate. She believes that building respectful, healthy relationships with students is key to promoting intellectual, behavior, professional, emotional, and physical development. Barnes holds a bachelor's degree in biology, pre-medicine from the Jackson State University, and a master's degree in secondary education from Belhaven University. She is currently working on her doctorate in education. She currently has 16 years serving in roles as middle school science teacher, instructional coach at the school and district level, and she currently serves as the lead district assessment person for Jackson Public School District. We are so excited to have her with us. You guys go ahead as we're introducing these amazing ladies. You know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the share button, because we want to share all the beautiful genius and this good light with everyone on your timeline as well. Miss Barnes, what you gonna tell the folks this afternoon? Great evening.
Good afternoon, great afternoon. We are so excited to be here today and to give you all some information regarding being a mentor on the school level. So I'm really excited to be here.
Wow. Okay, that is Miss Barnes. Now to my other side, right, we have Dr. Foster. Dr. Jalisa Foster is a proud native of Edwards, Mississippi. She has two smart, beautiful daughters, Peyton and Zoe Smith. She is a graduate of the University of Southern Mississippi, where she received her Bachelor's of Arts in English, and she's recently received her doctorate in educational leadership from William Carey University. Her philosophy of life is you only have one life. Be kind and live every day as if it was your last, because one day you will be right. All right, Dr. Foster, what are you going to say to the folks this afternoon in this tribe nation?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm super excited to be here tonight, and I just can't wait to have great conversation about mentorship in the workplace and just actually being a leader. And I look forward to interacting with you.
All right, here we guys go. You guys know how we get started. First up, outside of what's in your cup, you guys know I have some tea. I'm actually drinking some Taylor's tea tonight. It is green tea with lemon. It's quite amazing. And a drop of honey or two in there is what's in my cup. What's in your cup tonight, ladies? What you got? Tea, coffee, water? What you got over there?
So I have two things, y'all. Okay. I'm mad about it. So in my cup, I do have coffee.
Oh, that is a fair coffee.
And thank you. Yes. And then I also have water. So I have been trying to get my water intake up. So I don't want to show my jug, but it's tea and coffee and water.
I love it. Thank you. Dr. Foster, what you got over there?
I have some yummy tea, and I just found this little cool note on the back. It says, "One who brings happiness to others will find it." So
I love that. And look, what a befitting quote for tonight. Read that one more time for us. That is absolutely befitting for what we're talking about tonight.
It says, I just looked at the back and it says, one who brings happiness to others will find it.
Awesome. Awesome. Praise break. What do you guys go? And folks, meet us in the chat. Praise break. What is something that's gone really well for you this week? Something that's positive in your world. Remember, our brains are muscles and we can learn to flex them. Talking about becoming a more optimistic person. That's what that O stands for in boss, right? Being more optimistic. What is something that's gone well in your world? Don't hold back on spreading the good stuff. Y'all know humans will spread the negative so quick. We've got to flip that thing. We've got to start sharing the good stuff. The stuff that is going to encourage, is going to lift, is going to spread love and light. So, ladies, what do you have in your world? What's going well for you guys this week? What's a praise break? And for those of you that are joining us live, drop it in the chat because we want to hear the good stuff from you as well. Praise break. What's going well for you in your world this week?
So after many years of delay, I've gotten back in school with the pushing of others, and I'm really I'm excited about it. It's something that I have put off, and I think it's time for me to go on and do that so that I can really greater serve others, and not only others but myself, because it's pushing myself out of my normal little box that I'm in. But I'm up for the challenge.
Absolutely. We know we don't go in the comfort zone. You got to step on out just a little bit. So way to go. That's most definitely a boss move. All right, Dr. Foster, what do you have? Praise break. What's going on over there in your world?
Today is Sunday, so I like to be prepared on Sundays. I'll start with the small victories. The girls and I have our clothes laid out for the week, even down to basketball practice clothes. And so I'm just ready to start my week on a fresh start. Everything is prepared, house is clean, and I'm just excited to start the week off on a fresh, clean note, being prepared.
There is nothing like being prepared. I saw a quote the other day. Somebody was talking about Kobe Bryant, and they asked him where did all of his confidence come from. And the quote basically spoke to the fact where he was confident because he knew that he had prepared. He had overly prepared. He had done everything in his power to prepare. And because he knew factually that that's what he had done, his confidence level was through the roof. So what a way to start the week. Here we go. Let's jump in, ladies. Our first question of the night. And folks that are joining us, be sure to like this, share it, make a comment or two in the Dropbox for us. We want to interact with you guys tonight. What first question of the night? What is your first experience that you can remember either with true mentorship when either you were an adult in your professional career, or because we're talking about school and school systems all the time, or even as an adolescent, and how did it impact your path and your trajectory? Again, first experience with mentoring, being mentored, okay, mentorship coming your way, and what was the impact that it had on you guys? Barnes, let's hear from you first.
Okay. So my first experience that I can recall is when I was in middle school. My 6th grade teacher, Dr. Lenetra April, she was my science teacher, and ultimately Dr. April took me under her wings, and from 6th grade all the way through college, she helped kind of shape the person that I was. I would stay after school with her. I was drill team sponsor. So a lot of the attributes that she showed in the classroom, it kind of picked up on my leadership skills. And so even from being an AKA, I kind of took from that because she did serve as a role model. And even to this day, I can call Dr. April and have a conversation with her, even with me working on the district level, when she saw me, oh, that's my baby. And, you know, I was there to see her kids being born and all of that, and that her children have kids themselves. It's just being able to see everything come full circle. So I can really say in 6th grade, that's when I truly experienced that mentorship, and it's still benefiting me today.
Yes. People always ask me, like, I'm just a middle school advocate. I love middle school. You know, I've spent my 20 years there. I've just found that it's such a prime space for that mentoring to begin, prime space to really help students see the beauty within themselves, you know, because it's the age where they're struggling. They're trying to figure out who I am, how do I fit in, who do I fit in with? And it's critically important that we have educators in spaces that we have, community mentors in place to help during those critical years. And, we say, we've all heard the quote, people who need to love the most show it in the most unloving ways. And because middle school is tough, I mean, I describe it to older people that look, I'm the older people now, as you got hot flashes in your body. Like, middle school students are experiencing that type of chemical change that you were experiencing in their body at that age, right? And so a lot of times we forget that, like that they are truly going through some major changes. But it's so critically important that we have people just like your Dr. Lynette that are in space, in place, and willing to pour and love and guide at that area, because they're so impressionable. They're ready to receive at the middle school level. So thank you for sharing that. Dr. Foster, what do you remember about, your first experiences with mentorship?
My first experience with mentorship, it would have had to be sixth grade as well. This was not your ordinary mentorship because it was actually my sixth grade teacher, and he was a male. His name was Mr. Bobby Joe Benson. And Mr. Benson saw something in me that I did not see. So he would always ask me to help him plan lessons. Like, I'm in the sixth grade writing full lesson plans. He would get me to teach a concept to the class, and my classmates can attest to it that I would deliver full lessons in the sixth grade. He would just help me plan. He taught me so much about education, even from classroom management. And he was pouring all these things that I really didn't understand then in sixth grade, but now I feel like it has helped shape my philosophy of teaching, period. And one of his one of his morals was kindness. Like, he always talked about kindness, and that just kind of stuck with me. And so he didn't have to pour into me, but he did, and he mentored me every day to help me get better with the lessons. And I've never shared with him that I wanted to be a teacher, was interested in being a teacher, but he took time out of his day daily too. And that was my first experience with mentorship.
I love it. So, folks that have joined us in the chat, drop those teachers' name if it was a teacher or a community member or a family member. What was your first experience with mentorship, and how did it have an impact on you? Okay, you guys talked about as an adolescent, all right? So let's shift on over into a couple of more years into your professional world. What has been some of your experience, and how necessary has it been to have mentorship even in your professional roles, even now, moving forward in your careers? Talk about what does that look like for you, and how has it aided you on your journey?
Okay, I'll go. So I will say that my mentor professionally, and she may not want to accept it, is Dr. LaQuanta Nelson. She really got me out of my box. So the first couple of years of being an educator, I did not want to be a teacher, y'all. I didn't feel like that was my calling. And I was just there because it was a job, but I was trying to do the best that I could. And ultimately, once Dr. Nelson came to the school that we were at, she pushed me out of my box. Y'all, when I say she pushed me out of my box, where I would typically fight others and say, I'm not going to this certain grade and all of this. She came, it was a different spirit. It really was. It was, Jalisa talked about, or Dr. Foster talked about the kindness and everything. And that's how the relationship started. And so I have been fussed at. It's fine. I've gotten in trouble. But there were growing pains, and she's probably laughing thinking about some of the experience. Well, it was just one experience. But it's growing pains, and good mentors push you out of your box while also knowing, hey, this is the base. Let me not take them beyond what they can actually handle. But a lot of good mentors, they see where you can go. And then it's a slow progression of getting there. And so that is what this is. This is completely out of my box. But because I'm a behind the scenes type of person. But over the years, even after we have not been at the same school in years, right, I have seen myself grow professionally because of some of those things that have been put in place. Yes. And so now I'm more comfortable in the role that I'm serving, and I can go in and do what I need to do because I have basically been trained. And it's almost like a child riding with the bicycle, and you take the training wheels off. It's, hey, Barnes, go and go do this. Absolutely. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. If I mess up, not well, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that it's good, and having a good mentor that's there to support you and even to give you feedback. We talk about feedback all the time, and a lot of people think that a mentor just tells you what to do, but the mentor is there with you. And so it's about making sure that whatever that feedback is, because I'm sure I'll get some today, whatever the feedback is actionable feedback that we can actually take and apply to our next stage and where we're going.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I take that. Everybody that I've ever had the pleasure of working with, I honestly can say it's been so two-way, right? And mentorship should be two-way, right? It is a relationship of mirroring. It's a relationship of empowering and pouring, And so I think I gladly will say, y'all, listen, I'm an old mama bear. I'm mama bear, and I got a lot of babies that I'm just so grateful to see flourishing and spreading light and love the way that you guys are, and making the type of impact on this world, on so many more people than you ever even thought imaginable. So absolutely, we take that. All right, Dr. Foster, come on with it. Talk about what has mentoring done for you in your world.
Mentorship has definitely shaped my entire world. I ended up, when I was working on my dissertation, one of the components was mentorship. So I got a chance to dig deep down into mentorship, and it goes way back BC mentorship. There have been some form of mentorship. And so I was just joking with, laughing, because future Dr. Barnes, we're going to speak it into existence.
Listen, y'all know I am big on the language and the words that we use. Do you hear me? We've got to intentionally use words and language that are going to put us in positions where we want to be. Do you hear
me? So I was teasing and laughing, because I'm like, how's she going to steal my mentor? But I guess I'll share.
Yes.
Seriously, Dr. Nelson, seriously, being young in the profession, I'm not going to get emotional. Being young in the profession, we're not crying tonight. I was a little lost moving here from a new city, and I was at a new school, and I was really scared and nervous. Okay. I didn't know really that many people. And I saw this young professional. I'm like, wait, she looks like she's not even old as me. Like, she looks younger than me. But anyway, I loved everything about Dr. Nelson, from the way she dressed to the way she carried herself, the kindness. I must admit, it was time she had to get on to me. And back then, I wasn't at the point that I'm at now. I kind of took it personal, Dr. Nelson. I'm finally saying I kind of took it personal. But knowing what I know now, you were grooming me to be where I am. And every time I came to you with advice, with help, you gave me advice. With the situation, you would give me advice. Anytime I needed something, whether it was from parenting, you let me know that you cared about me beyond school. It was some personal things I could come to you as well. So I do appreciate that. But like I said, at first, when you were scolding me, and you would have to get on to me, because a true mentor has to get on to their mentee in order for them to grow. And, I understand that now. So I'm able to appreciate what you were doing. So I just want to say thank you for that. But that helped me, because I feel like in order for you to be great at whatever profession you do, you can't have a know-it-all mentality. You have to have a zest for learning and learning something new every day. And like a great friend told me, if you're the smartest person in the room every time, then you're sitting in the wrong rooms. So I advise you to get you a mentorship, and not one that's going to be super nice and always all the time. You need someone that's going to give it to you raw. Even when it's ugly, you still want that type of mentor. So Dr. Nelson mentorship has, you'll text me, hey, you need to do this. I'm like, okay, thanks.
So listen, I think accountability is love. Y'all drop that in the chat. Accountability is love. And I think, with mentoring, there has to be some love in the air. There has to be love at the core. You got to have a genuine care and concern for the people that you are loving on, that you are lifting up, right? You got to love on them and lift them up. And to do that, like, there has to be some true accountability in there if that's what we are truly trying to do. it's like taking medicine. I hate taking medicine, but every now and then I need some to help me get through whatever the issue is that I'm going through. And so it's critically important that we know that. And talking about leadership, right? And I'm going to shift on to this next question because it kind of lends itself to that. Leadership is tough. And you've got to know, if you are going to operate in true leadership, everybody is not going to always be happy with you, right? And so I appreciate that both of you know that we have such a relationship that y'all can on this platform even say, like, you know what, I wasn't happy with you all the time, right? Because as a leader, you got to know that, right? There will be times where people don't like what you have to say, they won't like what you have to do. But again, intention matters, purpose matters, and making sure that we keep our humanity. Like, as always, where's the humanity even when we have to do things that we don't necessarily like is important. So on those same lines, now that you are both in such powerful positions as educators, how are you paying it forward with mentorship? And you guys know I have a true a fire burning in my bones as it relates to helping other women. And what's facts is I don't always talk about it because we always come from a place of positivity. But the truth of the matter is, one of the reasons why I'm so driven to support women the way that I do is because I have not always been supported by women. And so I would love to hear from you guys. How are you right now paying it forward, even keeping in mind, understanding, we know the statistics. If you've not watched the video a couple of times back, we talked about like just the differences in so many parts of our life about, disparities in pay, in promotion, right? And policies as it relates to women versus men is there. But again, a part of my reason why I push so hard. So talk to us about, how are you paying it forward? How are you mentoring right now in your current position, both other women and then students, because you still have our most prized possessions at your fingertips, and we know that that's our students. How are you guys paying it forward with mentoring? Dr. Foster, we'll start with you this time. How are you paying it forward?
Okay, I just wanted to comment on something you said about paying it forward. I had a professor, and she served as one of my mentors. And I was telling her, thank you so much for everything you've poured into me. Thank you so much for being there for me. She told me, she said, it's not that I have extra time. It's just that you're somebody I choose to invest in. And she said, I choose my investments wisely. And no one ever told me that before. And she said, all I ask is that you pay it forward. She
Yes.
said, be careful with who you invest into. So with that being said, I feel like in order to be a great leader, you have to be approachable. So whatever type of mood I'm in, whatever I have going on, one thing I do before I get to work, I know music is my happy space. I like to get myself together because I really believe in energy, and you can't go in the workplace with just terrible bad energy. So I try to get in a good vibe before I see them. And I also let them know the key to growth is being better every single day. And if you really want to, and we set that up from the start, and if you truly want to get better, feedback is the key to growth. So it's not personal. I let them know that anything I tell you is not personal. I don't know you. You don't know me. It's to help you. And so I just always try to be kind, because you can be firm
That's
and
right.
still be kind. And I think a lot of people miss that. They feel
I
like you have to be
agree. I agree. I
disrespectful.
agree. I agree. Yes.
So it's all in the delivery. So if I try to check me first before I ever approach anyone else, because respect is going to be there. So I make sure I'm respectful. I lead by example. And I just try to make sure my energy is always good. I don't like going around people, with terrible energy, and just being the person, just being fair. Like if I wouldn't do anything to anyone else that I wouldn't want anyone to do to me. So
Absolutely. So y'all drop it in the chat. Y'all know y'all hear me say it every day. If I'm on a live, if I'm doing a video, you almost can guarantee that you are going to hear me say, energy is contagious. Y'all go ahead and drop it in the chat again, because that's one that's critically important. It's so critically important that we take good care of ourselves, because all day, intentionally and unintentionally, you are spreading how you feel deeply. And look, research has proven it. quantum physics, like positive psychology, has shown us time and time again that catch my vibe is a real thing. Like pop culture a couple years ago was saying it, but no, that's a real thing. Like energy is contagious. And talking about mentoring, mentorship, it's all about helping people to get better. And if you're spreading negative things, if you're spreading anxious energy, if you're sparing anger, if you're like that is what you are giving away, right? And so we don't help people get better with that type of energy, right? So it's critically important. And again, I can't say it enough, like, because I think when I say that, sometimes people are like, wait a minute, is that judgmental? It's not. It's life happens to everybody. And if we're all honest, listen, sometimes life happens in a way, and I want to kick, holler, and scream too, right? I have to check my own self because life happens, and you always have to catch yourself with your response and the energy that you carry. But if you're gonna be a game changer, a hope dealer, right, a purpose pusher, a dream chaser, like you've got to be intentional with the energy that you are bringing. And you said it right. Get yourself right. Who was that? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Mm-hmm. That's how old I am. All right, Ms. Barnes, how are you paying it forward, my dear? What does that look like in your world? Mentoring and mentorship. How are you helping those around you get better?
So mine is twofold. I still have connections with some of my old students. Yes. And so some know that I used to be a cheerleading coach, and I cannot seem to shake them. They think that I'm their second mama. So I do check-ins. If they see me, it's like they have not seen me in a million years, and it may have been a few months. And so it's always the conversation of, okay, what are you doing? What's our plan for the next year? Are you in school? What are you majoring in? What is it that you need? It's always asking them what is it that they need. And if I can give it, then, or I can connect them to the people that can get them something, then I always try to make that connection. I will send a text to, I have a little group chat with some old cheerleaders, and they are sophomores in college now. And it's, hey, I'm checking in on you all. How are you doing academically? What the school look like? When are you coming home? Do we need to do a check-in when you all come in? So it's still maintaining those lines, because one thing that we have to understand is educators, everybody does not come from a cookie cutter house, right? And so because they don't, a lot of the times we as educators serve as truly their second mama.
Gap fillers.
Yes. And so anybody who has seen me and all of my stuff, oh, you just so mean. I'm not mean. I love you, right? Y'all probably get on my nerves just a little bit, but there is nothing that I would not do for my scholars. And so the same thing for anybody that I'm mentoring or coaching, it's the same thing. Like Jalisa said, the accountability. Hey, let's look at what we're doing. What effect is it having on you? Is it really going to produce the fruit that you're looking for?
That's right.
If it's not, then what shifts are we going to make in order for it to get you the results that you're looking for? And so even with those that I'm mentoring, educators, friends, whomever, I will do a check-in. Yes. I says, hey, did you do this?
Right. We need that. We all need somebody to lean on, right? It's critical.
And so it's that whole sense of, like she said, it's the accountability, and then whatever processes that we have in place, it's making sure that we're consistent with those processes. So even if I only check in with you once a month, what are the results of what you've been doing before? And most of the time they will call me or they'll text me, and then it's like, help, I need as much help as possible. What is it that I need to do? And for me, what I do, I will, and I'm really bad at these, but I will stop doing what I'm doing in order to get them what they need. And a lot of people aren't accessible like that. But again, when you're being intentional on who you're picking as a mentor, and like Jalisa said, who is your mentee, those are the type of relationship factors that you need to think about. Can you really drop and do what you need to do and serve that person in that moment? Because we never know what they're really going through, whether it is emotionally, professionally. If they need you to fill in the gap real quick for them, if they pick you as a mentor, then you should be able to fill that in some capacity. And then if not, point them in the correct direction of someone who can.
I love that. So 3 things that I would love everybody either to drop in the chat or just keep in mind as a mentor. And let me say this, I don't care who you are or your experience, you are perfectly positioned to mentor somebody. Let me say that again. I don't care where you are in your journey, there is somebody, if you look, that you can bring along the way with whatever you already have. Let me say it one more time for somebody in the back. You are perfectly positioned to help somebody along their way as is right now, right? So, three things that I always like to encourage people that are in mentoring programs. We've helped create some district mentor level programs. Is experiences, expectations, and exposure. The same thing in a school when we're talking about transformation. We got to think through, how am I helping to have high expectations and supports for this person? How am I exposing them to things that they've not seen before? And how am I engaging them in some side by side experiences with me, right? That walking the talk and letting them see exactly what does that look like, so that again they're building that confidence, because that's the big part of mentoring, right? Is to help others build their confidence. And I like to say a part of it is truly, I am trying to be a mirror so you can see the greatness that's within you. That's what mentoring is about. I want to mirror to you the amazingness that's in you that possibly that you don't see, right? Here we go, y'all. We're almost landing this plane. What are some thoughts or some things that you guys think people can do to activate mentoring, whether they're in a school, in a business, or just a community organization? What are some things, some activity that you have seen that people can do to activate? Because listen, you guys can both write your own books on what we know can happen, right?
Right.
When we all activate agency for students. But can you share with our readers, our listeners, just some thoughts on things that they can start doing over the next few days to even help with our youth, right? Because we know that they need us. Let me say that again. We know that our young people need us. I don't care what community, we turn on the news, we look at the reports, like our
Yeah.
babies, our children, they need us, right? And so what are some things that you guys say that anybody can do to start helping out in their community with mentoring? And we're really talking about right now mentoring the youth in the community.
So one, I think that first you need to identify your purpose. What is the purpose of this mentoring? And then once you identify that purpose, then you need to go on and start setting goals. What at this time mark, this is what I want to be able to achieve. And then even after you set those goals, it's really, really important on who you identify as your mentors.
Yes.
Everybody, even though we have the capacity to mentor, everybody cannot mentor everyone. So we have to be really intentional on who you are pairing with each
Sure.
other,
Sure.
because some people may clash. I may be able to deal with the toughest of the tough, right? And somebody else may not be, just I quit. I don't want to do this anymore. So it's about being intentional with who you're pairing up. And
Yeah.
then what activities are you going to put in place in order to make sure that this mentorship is progressing? And
Yeah.
then how are you going to basically progress monitor that is some progress being made
Right.
within that whole situation?
Right.
What is the end goal? What do you want to see the child being able to graduate? Is it a change in behavior? Do you want to see them implemented in extracurricular activities?
Yes.
So it
So,
may vary for a school, or it may vary for a child. Even if the plans are different per child, then having that communication with that mentor is really, really, really important. And then there also should be someone that is seeing from a satellite view of the whole process. So they can actually give that feedback on, okay, yeah, Jamera is doing really well with Dr. Nelson. I think we want to keep this mentorship going with them. And then some people may end up being a mentor and then turning into a mentee. What does that look like for those scholars too? Because they can then be peer mentees and mentors.
sounds good. Thank you for sharing. So, y'all, she's coming at it from a formal mentoring program, and we've done that, right? We've created those ground up zero in schools. Like, that's where she was coming from with that advice, which absolutely we know works extremely, extremely well. Building capacity with others to be effective mentors. We've seen that work tremendously well. Dr. Foster, what are your thoughts on it? What can people do right now in their community to help with mentoring the youth?
in the communities and in the school, I feel like first, let's start, like you said, building the relational capacities. Let's start getting to know them first before we even mention mentorship, letting them know you care about them beyond the lines that you're trying to mentor them on. If you're trying to mentor them in school, letting them know basically that you care about them as a person, whether it's teachers that you're trying to mentor, whether it's students that you're trying to mentor. So basically, just building up, asking them, how was your day? How is this going? Or if you could change one thing at the school, what would it be? Just actually having communication, because a lot of times, a lot of students have expressed to me just recently, they couldn't believe that I was a consultant that talked to them. And I'm going like, what? That I'm talking to you? You're a human. So just treating the students like they're actual people, and that which they are, and
Right.
letting them know that their choice, their wants, you want to help. What can we do to bridge the culture in our school? What can we do? What would you like to see? And having those real conversations with the students to kind of get an informal needs assessment. And like I said, it goes back again to your energy, making sure that they will actually want to work with you if you're doing teachers, making sure that your students feel comfortable with you and they have established trust, because
Yeah.
no one wants to mentor it. No one wants you to be their mentor if they feel like they can't trust you.
That's right. I think that both of y'all hit on this, and y'all drop it in the chat. And I want us to really think through this question. It's a point of reflection for everybody that's on. Y'all make sure you've hit the like, the share button, even though we're getting ready to round it out. We still want to share this for other people to come back and listen to. But everybody right now, let's drop it in the chat. Are we listening to our youth? And I think when we're talking about mentoring, I know factually we'll say, oh, I've been young before. We've been there. But the reality of the fact is 2024 is a different world than 1985, you know? And I'm in a school system. We've been in school systems, right? I'm in school systems all over the US, you know? And what I know to be true is our students do not feel that we are listening to them. They feel that we are judging them, right? Like we're not even hearing them out. We're just, oh, you're wrong. You dot, 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 dot. And y'all, listen, psychology 101, when we feel judged, when we feel bashed, what happens? Either one of you tell me. Y'all not even psych majors. What happens when a person feel that they are being judged and they are being almost belittled? What happens?
They shut down.
I'm shutting down. I'm putting up a wall, right? And mentorship is all about reaching people, right? If I got a wall up, you're not going to get to me, right? And so we've got to really, really, really be intentional about not just asking our children what they think, but really taking the time to slow down to listen to what they are telling us. Because if we just listen a little bit more, they really are giving us what we need to know to better serve them, right? And so I just want us to always keep that in mind. And even with our adults, right? If you're mentoring adult to adult, you got to be a good listener. You got to be a good listener to the heart of the matter, so that we're able to then really figure out where is it that we can help create change for these people. You guys have been amazing tonight. We really, really enjoyed you. But I've got to ask you, what are you walking out of here with? What's your one takeaway from tonight? What is your one takeaway from tonight? Dr. Foster, what are your ending words for the people tonight? What will you tell the folks as it relates to mentor magic? What's your words of advice to wrap up the night?
Start with self. Check your energy.
Mm. I love it. Mentoring magic begins with you. I love it. Come on with it. Dr. Barnes, we're speaking in advance. What you got for us tonight?
I think you just really hit on it. Actually being able to be an active listener,
Yes.
and not just hearing. There's a difference between hearing and listening.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people would actually say, oh, I heard you, but did you actually listen to me? And in mentorship of any type, in any setting, once you actively listen to whatever it is that's being said, it's taking what they've said and actually putting things into action to address those things that they've mentioned. So I think that's really key with us going back and talking about establishing trust. Yes. Because if you listen to me and I see that you're putting things in place, and I know that you heard what I said and listened to it, then now I know that I can trust you with what I'm saying, and I trust you with my growth.
Yes, I love it. Listen, y'all have been absolutely amazing tonight. Y'all give a round of applause for these two amazing Edgy Rock stars who are also both my mentees, y'all. Like they're both two young ladies who I have seen them grow by leaps and bounds. And I want to say to both of you publicly, I am immensely proud of the growth and the impact that you are making, and it's only up from here. You're only going to do more. You're only going to get better. You're only going to have more love and light spread. Listen up. For those of you that are in the Copiah County area talking about mentorship, one of the things that I try my best to do at least yearly is to host a girl empowerment event. This event is always free to our girls who are coming in. So if you have family members, if you have church members, your cheerleading squad, even we've had all of the above that are in the Copiah County area, Tri-County area in Mississippi. We are gearing up for our next girl event. I'm dropping it in the chat for you guys. It's free. We talk about conflict resolution. We talk etiquette. We talk effective communication. We want to train our babies, our young ladies, how to advocate for themselves young. Because again, we're on a mission to help eliminate a lot of these disparities. And the earlier we train our girls to activate their power, listen, world, get ready. Okay, world, get ready. So thank you guys for that. And if some of you even would like to, even if you're not in the area and you want to volunteer, you can send some funds to pay for. Like we give out books, we give out all types of things to the girls that are there. So feel free to do that. And listen, if you are somebody who has not gotten your copy of Boss Moves yet, I don't know what you're waiting on, y'all. We officially hit our 2000th book sale this weekend at the Mississippi Book Festival, which in my world is a big deal, right? So if you've not gotten your book, I don't know what you're waiting on. I don't know. We're waiting on you to come on with it. But y'all go ahead and drop it in the chat for me. I'm making boss moves this week. I don't care where you are. I don't care your position. I want to remind you that you have absolutely positively got the power to be bold, optimistic, spontaneous, and substantial in your walk this week. So again, drop it in the chat. I'm making boss moves this week. Go be the absolute best version of you, because again, that's the best person you could ever be. And that's the person who the world needs to help it be a better place. We love you guys, and we hope that you got some value from tonight. Y'all, let's tell them, go be boss. Go be boss. Go be boss. Y'all have a great evening.